Commission, Director Anderson, thanks for giving me the time to speak. At the last meeting, I asked you guys a couple real simple pointed questions, and I'm wondering if you guys have made any headway towards them. One was the treaty fishing. The number of days that the tribe fishes compared to what we've brought up. Have you guys had the conversations amongst yourself about, you know, the 3-4-4-3 compared to 5-7 as it is now? Has anyone talked about that? Has anyone brought it up in the agency? Has anybody approached tribes about it? I mean, this was a month ago I asked this question. Next thing I wanted to talk about was hatchery numbers. As you can see, there's a lot of sports fishermen in this room. And as being a fishery that's within 100 miles of a major metro area, the number of fish that are planted every year goes down, keeps going down. The number of licenses that are sold and the use keeps increasing. Well, obviously this year the rubber's hit the road and you guys have a huge dilemma on your hand. I mean, what are we going to do short term to boost this? We're not making escapement. Sports fishermen are getting angry. There's not enough for everybody. I mean, what have you guys talked amongst yourselves about that point that was brought up? I mean, hatcheries are not the long-term answer, but it's a short-term fix. Has anybody thought about that? I mean, you guys all look at me with like a blank face, and it's like, you know, you guys represent us. You're supposed, you know, we're supposed to trust you guys in decisions that are made in the department. You know, as Ron Warren said, there's a huge trust problem. I'd say there's a giant trust problem because right now, the years that I've lived in the state my whole life. And I've fished and I've hunted and everything. And since I've been on this commission, the Grace Harbor Salmon Management Committee, I mean, there's a bunch of us volunteers that work really hard, volunteer our time, and we're not, it's the same thing, year in and year out. And the trust, I mean, people come to us and ask us questions. We tell them what you guys have told us. But you know what? It doesn't change. There isn't any change. So why should anybody in this room trust you guys? And I don't know what it's going to take for you guys to rebuild the trust, but let's start with taking care of some simple questions. Let's raise some fish. Let's talk to the tribes. And let's, I mean, you know, everyone wants to pick on the gill netters. Well, that's just a start. Let's pick on everybody, okay? Because, I mean, if you guys aren't even going to talk to the tribes, then how can these guys, you know, what are you going to do? I mean, we can talk about all these policies all we want, and until you do some simple things like increase fish, it doesn't matter about the policy. Because if there isn't any fish to catch, what's the policy matter? You know, and I don't know if it's Ron on his parting shot on the way out or whatever, but what Ron said here earlier today is the first time in all these years that Ron's actually talked about conservation. And I don't know if he's under your guys' thumb or what, but I mean, why is it so hard to answer just a few simple questions and act on it? There's just no action.
Okay, thank you.